Patrick McNeil back here with you at the intermission. It's time now for part 2 of our 10 questions with Eagles goaltending consultant Scott Gouthro. Is Scott Gouthro good at keeping secrets?
I'd say yes. I'm a pretty loyal guy, so if you want to confide in me in something, then yeah, I'm pretty good at holding it tight.
Whether it's just unoriginal or crude or just kind of boring, what's the worst hockey nickname you can remember a teammate having?
I did play with, I won't name him, but play with a guy who's a defenseman and his nickname was Pylon. And it's kind of self-explanatory, but it's kind of hurtful when you think about it. But I don't think he knew anything different. He went with it, and that was it.
He had to learn to embrace it, like Andre Vassico back in the day playing with that.
Exactly, yeah.
What is a TV show from the past you wish would come back to make new episodes?
I remember that TV series, Making the Cut, the hockey one. It was like a reality TV show where guys got a chance to get a pro contract. That was pretty cool back in the day.
Shout out former Eagle Dominic Noel, one of the winners of the original season. What is a sport that you don't have any interest in?
One I don't really like. I don't know, I like lots of different sports, but I can't really get myself into watching NASCAR or anything like that.
This season, of course, everybody walking around Center 200, everybody has the Nuke 91 bracelets on as an honor to Jacob Newcomb. Hopefully Jacob's doing well. Other than the Nuke 91 bracelet, is Scott a bracelet guy, or is that the only one you'd be wearing?
I definitely have my Nuke one on for sure. Back with one of our teams in minor hockey for our kids, we had 212 bracelets, which is 212 degrees. The extra degree of working hard actually was a motto we had when I was down in Stockton with the Stockton Heat, with Calgary's team. That was our motto, so I brought it back here. We had bracelets made up, and actually my son still wears it from 3 years ago when he played on that team.
Very cool. This is obviously purely opinion question. Which goalie in the NHL currently has the coolest looking gear?
From the Heritage Classic, Stuart Skinner's gear was pretty neat and kind of a vintage Grant Fuhr type look. And I was a lefty like Grant Fuhr, so I always loved watching him play and liked his gear. It's pretty neat to see Skinner wear something similar to Fuhr's gear. Well
dressed for the occasion, I guess we can say. If Scott had the opportunity, would he ever ride in a hot air balloon?
I'm not a big fan of heights, but I like challenges. So I'm sure if one of my kids bet me to do it, I'd probably reluctantly get in it, just make sure I won that bet.
That is the ultimate test to height, because I think being up high outside is extra challenging, but I'm sure it would be a pretty cool experience. If you had the opportunity to play mini golf or quote unquote real golf, which would you prefer?
I'm probably known as the world's worst golfer, but I actually enjoy it. Now that my boys are old enough and they play it quite often, I like to get out there with them, and I'm still probably the worst of the three of us, but it's a lot of fun being out there with them, doing something other than hockey and enjoying another sport.
I think I like mini golf because of the stroke limit. I'm also not a good golfer. So after the 6 strokes, it's done. I've been asking guys this one this year, and it'll be fun to ask the staff because we're getting into a different time period. There's this phrase that came up during COVID that the song that was number 1 on your 12th birthday is a life anthem or something along those lines. We're going to do some trivia here. Your 12th birthday would have been April 7th, 1993. I'm going to give you 3 songs that were at some point number 1, and you have to give me the song that was number 1 on your 12th birthday. Your 3 options are Ordinary World by Duran Duran, The Sign by Ace of Base, or To Be With You by Mr. Big. What was number 1 when you turned 12 in 1993?
That's a tough one. Wasn't really up on my music back then, but I'm going to go with the last one.
Mr. Big?
Mr. Big, yeah.
It was not. That was 1992, so you would have been 11 when that was number 1.
Okay.
Ordinary World was the following year. I would go the year before, year after. Makes it challenging.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the last one for part 2. Scott, growing up, what was the first sports jersey you owned as a fan?
It was a Montreal Canadiens jersey. My dad was a big Montreal Canadiens fan. He was a goalie as well, so I remember getting a Patrick Roy Montreal Canadiens 33 jersey, and it was pretty incredible to have, and I remember not taking it off for quite some time, but that was probably my first one and my favorite one of all time.
Pretty cool, and you go full circle in this interview and in life, because earlier we were talking about coaching against Patrick Roy, so pretty neat how that all works out. Thanks for letting us get to know you a bit more, Scott. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thanks, Pat. Appreciate it.
That's Cape Breton Eagles goaltending consultant Scott Gouthro joining us at the intermission. You're listening to Celtic Kubota, Cape Breton Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.